Hey, thanks for joining us with our brand new podcast, Bar Rayburn. And today we're honoring our friends Chris and Stephanie for making it to 20 years. So we're going to go behind the scenes and talk about what it takes to make it to 20 years. But before we do that, we're going to do a toast for our friends Chris and Stephanie.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. The year's 2003. Thinking about how long ago that is.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Decades.
That's like a long, so I'm doing the math here. I was 13, 14?
Yeah.
So,
15. Yep.
Yeah, right around there.
14, 15. We were in middle school.
Yeah, middle school and...
I was going to say, I was still illegally burning CDs back in 2003.
Was that pre-LimeWire?
I don't know. It's right around that point.
Napster, but was it? It was pre-Facebook.
Something important happened 20 years ago, and that's Chris and Stephanie got married. You know, one of the things Chris told me, what makes love happen is meeting your first love at Chuck E. Cheese. I think that kind of worked for you, right, Ryan?
Yep, going strong.
Yeah.
We'll be at 9 years this year, so.
Yeah.
Met at Chuck E. Cheese. Only 75% of couples that meet at Chuck E. Cheese survive divorce.
Right.
So on that note.
But that's not what we're here to talk about. That's like episode 5 or 6 later on.
What do you think it took them to get to 20 years?
Lots of patience.
From who?
Probably Stephanie.
Okay.
She had to put up a stand.
Hey! You know, one of the things I think about is like his 30th birthday when Stephanie did that whole surprise video for him and got all these people to send in videos, like wishing him happy birthday. Got his district manager to send one in. Mm-hmm. You know, that was a really big surprise for him. Like he expected to have a party, but he didn't expect that nice of a touching moment from her. And like being able to provide some of that stuff throughout the marriage is really important.
They had to build a pool together. And it took them 100 years. I think it took them as long as the anniversary, 20 years, to build the pool, right?
Yeah, what is it? Like, they were going to get it for 15 years, I think. Yeah. Because, like, the 15-year anniversary is a pool.
Yeah.
It's the biggest pool I know of that's not, like, a city pool.
Think of one word that describes Chris, one word that describes Stephanie. So when I say Chris, what's the word that you think of him?
Like, straight up love. That's all that dude gives.
And then Stephanie, what would be your word?
I would definitely say she's the more of the caring.
Karen? All right.
Because I remember a certain cruise we went on that involved one 5-mile walk, and then I think another 30-minute sketch ride in the middle of nowhere where I thought we might have been kidnapped, but thankfully we weren't.
Oh yeah, the delivering of the backpacks to the children in. Was it Honduras?
I think it was Honduras.
Honduras and Belize.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, what about you? For Chris?
I would say Chris is loyal.
Stephanie?
Just sweet. What about you?
I think for Chris, I'm going to say Stan. No, I'm kidding. Smart. Because he's a smart man to figure out how to make it work with Stephanie for 20 years.
Yeah,
I can remember just the stories Chris told me about when they got together, and it's just kind of like their belief on that it's going to work. Like Chris is like, "Hey, I love Stephanie. I'm going to make this work no matter what." And I remember he's told me this story where he wanted to propose to her, and he goes and asks her dad if he could propose, and he told him no.
Like, what do you do then? You just the hell with what you said.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine if Kurt said no to me, I would be like, all right, cool, bye.
Because that guy is literally one of the nicest people.
Yeah. Chris literally was like, no, I love her, I'm gonna marry her, and he goes and proposes, and they got married, and 20 years later, here we are talking about him on a podcast. Also think about it just from the moments that aren't going good. Or the moments that you don't agree, and working through that. How many times has Stan come out? Hey!
on a quick note, I want to plug in a short film we did a long time ago. It's called Banana Mash, and Chris was so sad he couldn't be part of it, but we made sure to include his name as part of it. But we also made sure that Stan came into the.
Hey!
So we just want to highlight Stan.
Hey!
As we conclude for tonight, we want to do something special for them because they mean a lot to all three of us and a bunch of us. There's a lot of people that couldn't even be here tonight, but we wanted to highlight something special for them. If for those who don't know, a long time ago for Ryan and Leah's wedding, we did a surprise video for him at his wedding. Then we did one for Megan and Mike at theirs. They did one for me at my wedding. But we were too young at his wedding to make a video. So
yeah, there's child labor laws against us working for anything when they got,
It was illegal back then. So
congratulations, Stan.
Hey! Hey, thank you for joining us for our first episode of Bar Rayburn, where we're talking about 20-year anniversaries with Chris and Stephanie and our stories with them.
What's that? Who's our favorite guy? Stan!
Stay! And on that note, thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary.